This episode is brought to you by Modern Fertility, BetterHelp, and Baby Maury. Thank you all for helping us make our show a possibility.
Welcome to If These Ovaries Could Talk. I'm Jamie.
I'm Robin.
And we're your hosts.
We sure are.
Love is love if you don't have to make a family by taking a traditional route. If these ovaries could talk, they would say,
How do I get the sperm through custom?
I am a lesbian.
So gay.
So gay. We need to tell our stories.
It's not your nuclear family anymore. It's not just your mom and dad thing.
We're not ruining these little humans.
Not for the gay reason. Just because we stay.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Jamie. How are we doing? How are we
man.
doing?
You know, March is the longest month in the whole history
Right?
of all months in time. Like,
I mean, it's
I don't
like
even
it's
know what
a
that
wonderful
means.
month because there's the prospect of warmth and all that, but it is also like then the rain comes in. I mean, this very
It's also-
esoteric, but
it's also like 20 degrees today. So it's just, the temperature drop.
know.
It's going to go even lower tomorrow and the next day. Did you know that?
right. Yeah. Well, and also, P.S., because like I know you want to talk about how you can't get out of the house, but this morning my wife took my daughter to lacrosse because there's 17 activities because spring has
Yeah,
sprung, right?
of course.
So she took the car, and then Henry and I had to bike, and it's like 27 degrees, and I was
It's
like, oh, geez.
freezing.
I was like,
Too
why didn't I
cold.
bring gloves? Yeah, no, we were on the
Ooh.
bikes. That was less
Ooh,
fun.
That's too cold. You got to be prepared for
I
that.
know. I was not.
Ugh.
The good news is when you're listening to this episode, you're out of March.
You're in April. Spring has sprung.
You did
y'all.
it.
Good job.
You
You
did
made
it.
it through. But I wanted to talk about how frustrating my life has been lately.
Do tell, do tell.
My 4-year-old, oh my God, he will not leave the house. Like, he will not do the stuff to get ready to leave the house in the morning. Not even only on school days, like every day. Every
Now,
day.
what does he do? Does he just like stall or is he just like, no?
No, I don't want to. And he'll just lay there. And then he'll be floppy when I try to make him. And he'll just,
You
like,
know,
he
you
won't
know
even
what-
go to the bathroom.
Oh, what I started doing back then was I would just like walk away. Like if they did that shit on the street or whatever, I'd be like, bye. And then I would
Well,
just start
yeah.
walking away.
Oh, I leave him on the street all the time.
Yeah,
And
oh, yeah.
There have been like older ladies like, is that your son? I'm like, yeah, he's coming. He's
Like,
coming.
Don't say anything. Don't acknowledge him. Don't look back. don't. He will come.
My new thing is we have all these point systems. Rose has at least 3
no.
point systems that we're working on for different
No.
things. And then yesterday morning, we had a horrendous getting out the door. Okay, guys, shoes and socks, jackets to the door. That's another 15 minutes. And that is when I lose my shiznit. That's when I lose it on him. So then I was like, that's it. I'm setting Alexa. And when I say shoes and socks out the door, I'm like, I'm setting a 4-minute timer on Alexa. If Alexa's timer goes off before you guys are out that door, you don't get a point. And you know what you're going to get if you get 7 points? You're going to get a trip to Dave & Buster's. They're just like, oh, she has lost her shit.
I'd love to tell you that the shoes and socks thing gets better. My kids are about to turn 11 and 13, and I'm still like, why don't you have
Oh
your
my God.
shoes on?
And then it's...
It doesn't get any better. Like if I say we have to be out the door at 7:30,
yeah,
then 7:25, put your GD shoes on.
let's go. Let's
Like
go.
it's like you know that
It's
7:30
crunch
doesn't
time.
mean then you start shutting stuff down
Oh
and
my
then you
God.
put so I have to like build back 5 extra minutes and I'm like, aren't you old enough that
I know.
I shouldn't have to be like doing this still? But I don't think it's going to end. I think what we've learned here, Jamie, is that we stink. Number
Parenting
one,
is hard.
parenting is hard. Number two, number three, it doesn't get better. All right, let's move on.
I wake up I wake up like, oh, shit, because I know I have to get them out of the house at some point.
Can you believe that people come to this podcast so that they can create a family, and then all we do is in the intro tell them not to create a family? This is
We're
a
not telling
special
you
place.
not to. We're not telling you not to. We're warning you. We're
Just don't say nobody told me. We told you. That's it.
It is not easy, but it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Sure.
It's so beautiful.
Sure. Okay, special shout out to our newest Patreon member. This person is beautiful and special. Jay Bogart. Thank you so
Yay,
much.
Jay Bogart.
Woo!
I'm
I mean-
doing a dance for you.
Okay. Do you want to help us make content for LGBTQ families? I think you do. You can
probably
join
do.
our Patreon community and you're going to do just that. You're going to do a good thing. You're going to get bonus content. And at the gestational carrier level, you're going to get video interviews and more episodes dropped a day early. Most episodes, not more, most. And then so you just got to head over to patreon.com/ovariestalk to join. Boop.
Okay, let's get to our guests because
Yes.
I'm very excited.
I think we both fell in love with these two ladies. I really think we did.
We did. We
like
did.
we cried, we laughed, we
Yeah.
sat and stared at them in awe.
Yeah, this is a couple we would truly have over for dinner if we lived in the same state. Or we'd
Yes.
go to their house. I bet you they cook better than
I feel like
us.
they'd
So-
invite us. Naomi and Marilyn.
Yes, exactly. They have spent a lifetime trying to be together,
For real. For real.
but they have actually always been together.
I mean, they're so meant to be, Jamie. I mean, that's just the whole thing. I just kept thinking you're meant to be. It was a great discussion.
They are so meant to be, and they had their story. You have to hear the story.
Yeah, we're going
It's
to talk
like a-
hidden lives, the intersectionality of LGBTQ community and the BIPOC community, and parenting through it all. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, and some secret love.
Oh, secret love.
Lovers.
Helen, play the song and roll the tape. Play the song, Helen.
No, don't sing it. Don't sing it, Helen. We just want you to play it.
Secret
No, don't.
love.
Hi, Naomi and
Hi.
Marilyn. How are you all?
Hello. How you guys
Great.
doing?
How are you?
Good. We are so happy to have you.
Before we do our 30-second elevator pitch, I wish everyone could see you two are framed
I know.
so beautifully. Lovely little shelves on either side of you. This gorgeous picture of their family behind
So
them. Like
beautiful.
portrait. It's beautiful. And then your two
It
lovely
looks like
little
it should
faces.
be in a magazine. It's just a perfect photo.
Oh,
Oh
thank,
my
thank you guys.
gosh.
Thank you guys so much.
The cover of your reality
Oh,
TV
yeah.
show. It also looks like it could
Oh,
be a reality
totally.
TV
It
show.
is a reality TV
It
show.
really is. Yeah.
Well, let's start where we always start with the elevator pitch. Jamie's going to put up a little timer to scare the pants off you.
Okay.
Do you guys
30
remember what
seconds.
the elevator pitch is? I saw your face on Naomi's face, like turn towards Marilyn.
She's like,
What?
elevator
are we
what?
doing? It's just you guys in a nutshell. In 30 seconds, try to tell
Oh,
us
okay.
the grand overview of basically why you're here talking to us today.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready?
We're ready.
On your marks, get set, go.
Well, this is Naomi and Marilyn. We're from Houston, Texas. We're the authors of From Love to Pain, From Pain to Love, Our Journey Outside the Rainbow. We're also the owners of a facility maintenance company here in Houston. We're also the parents of two girls, and we have two wonderful son-in-laws, two wonderful grandkids, and we're just two girls in Texas, stuck in Texas.
That was amazing. That was 30 seconds on the dot.
All right.
Good job.
So let's take it back because I've read a bit of your book. I haven't finished it because, kids. But I know that it wasn't an easy path to you two being two girls together. So can we
Yeah.
talk about that?
Yeah, actually, we were two girls stuck originally in Arkansas and then in Louisiana and
Yeah.
now in Texas.
Yeah.
So it all started in Arkansas as us being really good friends. And we were college mates and
Oh.
sorority sisters and all that good old fun stuff that we kind of hid behind while trying to pretend like we were normal.
Right, quote unquote.
And
Yeah. So it was quite a journey. We started off just being friends, and then all of a sudden woke up one day and said, "Wow, I think I like her." That's the way it got started, and then that's the journey was. It's quite a ride. It's quite a ride.
Did you both say that at the same time? I think I like her.
Yes, we did.
Huh?
We didn't say it out loud. I know I said it, but because of who I was and how I was living,
Right.
I had to hide behind what I was really feeling. But she knew it. When we were together, it was very obvious that we were more than friends,
Yeah.
but we tried to fool each other as
Hmm.
though it was not the case. But yeah,
Marilyn, were you like, I could rub your shoulders if
You
that's
want
what
a
you
massage?
Exactly,
You
yeah. I
seem
love
very
giving
stressed
massages.
out.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's
terrible.
exactly what it was.
Was it really?
But our thing was a little bit more, and I hate to use this word because I know it's already been used, more entanglement.
Yeah.
Because our families
Oh, wow.
overlapped. And the husband I had at that time was very involved. And
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I
husband.
know, right?
No,
I kind
no,
of
I
skipped
meant-
a few things,
I meant-
didn't I?
I was like, I'm sorry.
So there were husbands involved.
Let me tell you, this thing here, it consists of a lot of stuff. It really consists of two different lives, two different time periods, and actually two different people. We were totally different people than who we are now.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I want to take it back before we get into the husbands. I want to take it back to college. You were college
Mhm.
roommates, but you never were a couple in college.
Yeah, are you?
Were
Are
you-
things happening?
Yes.
Yeah,
Jamie's trying to say,
Yeah.
are you making
I
out?
didn't want to
yes.
say it like that.
yeah, it was.
Yes.
I've said it.
Yes.
It-
Yes.
Stuff is happening.
Things
Yes.
were happening in college, but you were hiding it and you were not letting other people know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It was a perfect song for it at that time, where we basically
Secret lovers.
Yeah, we were
Secret
secret
lovers.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's what we are.
Yeah, that's exactly what
I knew that's the
I
song
know.
you were
Yeah,
going to
that's
sing.
it.
That's amazing.
That's
There was a little knocking boots to secret lovers. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you seriously
I
just
did
say
just
knocking
do that.
boots?
I just went there. Because what year was this that you guys were in college? I don't want to, and if you don't want
Yeah.
to tell us your age, you don't have to tell us
no.
your
Oh
age.
no, it's fine.
That's the whole point of it.
Right.
It was 1983,
Yeah,
83,
Okay.
82, 83.
Different
So,
times.
different times. Very in Arkansas. So
Right.
very, very different times.
Hmm.
Hey, Jamie, if only we, and I don't mean you and I, but us LGBTQ
Yeah.
folks could get pregnant the old fashioned way.
Oh, yeah, if only. But you know what? If we could, I don't think we would have a podcast.
Oh, that's true. It's true.
That's true.
And it's true that LGBTQ folks go through a lot to get pregnant.
Yeah.
We spend time and money, and that's why I love it when a product comes along to offset those costs a bit.
Totally.
When it comes to our families, a lot of time we don't know that we have a fertility issue until we are actually in the process of trying to create our families.
Yeah, totally. And that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't know there was a fertility issue until I was already at the clinic, and I was also considered geriatric. I mean, how would I have known my parts weren't doing the job? How would I have known?
You wouldn't have.
And then I found out.
Well, but that's why modern fertility was created. I wish they'd been around when we needed it.
I know, me
But it's
too.
an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home. You're going to give yourself a simple finger prick. You're going to mail it in with a prepaid label, and you'll get your personalized results within 10 days.
Yes, and you're going to get insights into your hormone levels, your ovarian reserve, aka how many eggs you have compared to other women your age, and other important fertility factors. Lots of stuff.
And traditional testing with your doctor can cost over $1,000, but modern fertility gets you that same info at $159. That's a fraction of the price if you're not good at math. And if you go to modernfertility.com/OCT, you're going to get $20 off your test.
And that was some serious math you just did.
I know.
And also, if you have an HSA or FSA, you can put those dollars towards modern fertility.
Yeah. So if you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, clinically sound info about your body can help you make the decision that's right for you. Like I said, right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/OCT.
That means your test will cost $139 instead of the hundreds or thousands it could cost at a doctor's office.
There's so much math in this. I love it.
So much math.
Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/OCT.
modernfertility.com/OCT. So you were secret lovers. You were keeping it hidden. And then what happens? You graduate college, you go your separate way. What happened?
Well, okay,
Yeah. And
yeah. So what happened
how'd they get a
was
husband?
after fighting emotions and trying to determine that we both didn't want to have this, we didn't want to be these people that was in love with each other.
Right.
So
God, that's so
we
hard.
decided that we needed to do what was the right thing to do, and that was Marilyn to get married, me to go about my life, go across the country, and try to get over her and just do the right thing. And
that's so heartbreaking.
So you decided this together.
we did decide together. It was kind of a force. We decided together to leave each other alone, but then after Marilyn got married, it became really a brutal issue within her marriage and our family. So it kind of just was. It was one of those things where it was always sitting there, and everybody was wondering, are they really not friends anymore? Are they really not talking anymore? And so we did decide, yeah.
Marilyn, you're crying.
I know.
Yeah, but every time we speak on that part of our life, I just go back to it and how difficult it was. And I was married to what was a high school sweetheart, and in the community where we were, a very small community, it was just automatically assumed and expected that he and I were to stay together. And he knew that it was something going on, and it was just a constant struggle. He knew that there were feelings, but it was almost like he was like, look, you just cannot be friends with her anymore. You got to cut it off completely. And because I wanted to do the right thing, I said, I got to do that. So that's what I did. And that's why it hurts when I hear that, because it's like I was in such a bad I was in a dark place at that time.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
trying to do what
Oh,
I thought
sure.
was right, make a marriage work that was not working. Outside of me not being in love with her, the marriage wasn't working because of the type of individual I was married to.
Mm.
Well, just to go back, to that, because he was 100% certain that I was gay, and that's because of a relationship I had in college that didn't turn out too favorably with a young lady. Because when I went to college, I wasn't gay. when I went to college,
None of us were.
yeah,
Zach.
I was not gay. I was, basically almost a whore. But
Well,
Yeah.
Oh.
Atta girl. Atta girl, Naomi.
I wasn't gay, and so I got involved with a young lady in college, and that turned out to be sort of a real bad situation. And so I was coming out of that, and so everybody knew that Naomi was gay, but of course Marilyn wasn't gay because she was engaged. She had a boyfriend. She had
right.
so
Right.
that's why he was so adamant about her not being friends with me because
Because you were gonna
Because she
obviously
had turned me
influence her.
gay.
You're gonna turn
She
it.
had
Yeah.
turned me
Yeah.
gay.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
contagious.
It was her fault that you even had these feelings at all.
Right,
She
yes.
turned you gay, so stay away
Right.
from that problem, and then we're
Exactly.
going to be happily ever after,
Right.
which is
Right.
not
Not
the
how
truth.
that works.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So take us through what happens next. You guys, so you're married.
And you're just trying to be separate.
Yeah, I joined the service. I joined the military because I tried
Oh.
to stay in Arkansas for a while, in Memphis and Arkansas area. I got a job with a brokerage company and thought I could just stay there and we could be friends. And that didn't work out because I wasn't making enough money. I was living with my grandmother. It was really a pathetic scene. And so I decided to try to, I decided I was going to leave. I had to leave to get out of town to get away from Maryland because we could be friends, because at that time she had a baby
Mhm.
and I was the godmother. I was very close with the baby. I mean, the daughter, very close. We were inseparable.
Yeah.
She spent all her time with me. I just wanted to be able to keep that relationship with her. So if that meant that I had to walk away from Marilyn, but I could still be a part of her life, that's what I wanted. I just wanted to be a part of her life. And
Marcy's baby, the little
Marcy, the
girl.
baby's
Yeah.
life. I wanted to be a part of her life. So that going to the military meant that I could help her. I could be that terrific godmother. I could be that great auntie, all the things she needed because I had income.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got to Boston, Marilyn, started talking as a friend would talk about her relationship, and I kept wondering to myself, I should I be listening to this or should I be trying to jump on this opportunity? And
I know, right? It was really hard because we were best friends before we became intimate, before
Yeah.
we allowed the romantic emotions to take over. We were really good friends. Like I said, we were sorority sisters, and our families, her grandmother lived right around the corner from my home. So we had history, and she still was my friend. So then I thought I was being unfair to her because here I am sharing my issues with the relationship that I'm in, which was very uncomfortable. What I was going through was very uncomfortable. And I was sharing this with her, and I said, that's unfair because I know the feelings that we have for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But, I tried to force it to maintain the friendship status.
Right.
And
right.
I don't know, do you think you took it? You didn't take advantage of that. You just you cared. So you wanted to help me feel better.
No,
You
I
wanted
don't-
to make it better.
She wanted to help you break up with that man is what she wanted to do.
I was really feeling like, I wanted to do what was best for the child at the time. I wanted that to work for you and him and the baby. And if I could just be, a part of it, I was going to be okay with it. But I wasn't denying the fact that I still was in love with you. I just felt that was the thing to do. Just to stand
Yeah.
back and just let that happen and just be there for you emotionally. But then as I was listening to her, talk and tell me about the things that she was going through, it was hard. It was hard simply because she was my friend. And I just thought that you just kind of maybe deserve something a little different, maybe something a little better. And that didn't necessarily have to be me because, I was in Boston dating, going out, doing things. I mean, doing straight girl things because I was in the military. I was in the military.
Oh,
So I was,
wow.
so I was still doing straight girl things. And that was becoming harder and harder.
Being a hoe.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
all of that. So, and then then the opportunity came for me to get closer to Arkansas, and that meant I got a chance to transfer to New Orleans. And so I left Boston and headed to New Orleans. And then when I got to New Orleans was so much freer than Boston as far as, I mean, I had never seen anything like this as far as gayness.
Yeah,
I had never
yeah.
seen anything
Yeah.
like
It's
that.
kind of
So,
more out in the open.
So,
Yeah.
So now I was able to start looking at the possibility that I might want to date girls. I don't like this other thing, and being and being in New Orleans, it was a great opportunity because it's like this was wonderful. And so
Yeah.
that's when I decided in New Orleans. I was still in the military, but I decided I could no longer live this facade dating men. But I knew I had to keep it quiet.
But then you were also close to Arkansas.
Yes,
That
very
was
close.
like a 5 to 6 hour driving distance. So you were able to start picking up the relationship with Marcy,
Right.
which is our daughter,
Yeah.
the oldest
Oh,
daughter.
that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I could go see her all the time.
I just want to point out that all it took was for you to be in a town where you were seeing it. You know,
Yes.
I mean, it was a
Right.
lot leading up to that, but the representation
Right.
matters so much.
that's
We
right.
need to
It did.
see it reflected to us so we can see, oh, I can have that.
Yeah.
Once you
Right.
see it,
Yeah.
you can imagine it.
Yep, exactly.
We talked a little bit in the pre-call about the intersectionality in the Black community, and that it's not as open
Mhm.
as, because what are we talking about, the 90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Around about that time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a real weird situation because it was like two different worlds. Here we are in New Orleans, and the gay Black community was really live and thriving, and it was and then I go to Arkansas, and I was back to, church, that kind of stuff doesn't happen. What you talking about? What y'all doing? That's wild. And so it was really kind of difficult because even in college, when I got involved with the young lady that I got involved with, she was not an African American. And so my family was like, oh, well, she just going through a phase. She just went to college and she just found somebody that just don't, so that's not going to happen. and I kind of played along with that too.
Right.
Like I was just going through a phase because it made them feel comfortable, but I knew inside that I wasn't going through a phase. But
Right.
so yeah, New Orleans was quite the place, and then at that time, I let Marilyn take over from there.
No,
That's when you reached out to Marilyn and said, you need to come here.
well,
Listen.
it stirred things back up again because she was able to come home. She was able to come to Arkansas, and things were getting a little bit crazier because here again, and I'm not trying to act like I was this perfect angel. I mean, I really was. only thing I was doing wrong was still trying to not be crazy about her and still talking to her in a way that my husband at that time did not want me to. And I was keeping that a secret. And but at the same time,
Meaning like flirty?
well, I don't know. Did we flirt? I don't know. It was just so weird.
Because you were best friends too,
you
right?
just we could not talk to each other or be around each other and it not just ooze affection and ooze love. It just couldn't happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I'm
like-
not going to
yeah.
lie. It's apparent right here.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
I
it
can't
really
imagine
is.
you being able to hide it.
That's
Yeah.
that's exactly what
That's
that's
exactly
exactly
what-
what one of my cousins said to me when I told him that I was gay. I said I got a problem, and he wanted to know what the problem was. And when I told him, he said, "That's not a problem." I told him I like girls. He said, "That's not a problem. That's gay." And I said, "But I think I like Marilyn." He said, "Now that's a problem. That's your problem right there because is she gay?" And I said, I think she likes me. No, well, you can't. That can't work. You two can't be together. That's not right because you guys are family almost, and y'all can't be
Right.
together. So
My husband was her uncle's best friend and they all stayed around the corner. And yeah, it was, so that's why it was
complicated.
Oh, was I not supposed
no,
to say
no,
that?
no, no. I'm just, when you say it out loud, it's just like it's
I know. I
very,
don't think
very.
we've ever really
it's-
said that,
it's-
huh?
it's
always been in
layered.
here, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very
very
layered.
It's an entanglement. It's a big time entanglement.
But fortunately,
Entanglement.
all the family members have been very supportive, and all those people that were involved and are involved we're all still good. But during that time, I had a second child because
That's what I was just going to ask about that. Okay. Yeah.
because we decided, okay, I decided I'm going to make it work. I think I had stopped. She was in New Orleans at the time, and I had
Mhm.
stopped trying to communicate with you, and had agreed to have a child and got pregnant, and I was so glad that it happened. When I was in the hospital having the second child, it was confirmed at that time that I could leave, whether I left to go be with her or not, because he constantly proved to me that no matter what I did, my marriage was not going to work with him. But anyway, so confirmation came at that time with the second child, and that's when preparation started for me to leave and move to New Orleans with Naomi.
Wow. You know, people don't always realize that physical symptoms like headaches, teeth grinding, and even digestive issues can be indicators of stress.
Mhm.
And let's not forget about doom scrolling, sleeping too little, sleeping too much, undereating, and overeating. All are signs of it.
I have every one of those symptoms except the sleeping too much. I don't have that one.
I would have that one if my kids allowed it. I severely miss oversleeping. It's a coping method I am very familiar with. My newest one that I do now is teeth grinding. My teeth are going to fall out of my head with all this grinding. Oh my God.
Yeah. I've got a little very cute for my wife. What are those
The
things
night
called?
guard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hot.
I have one of those, but I don't wear it.
Anyway, I hear you. Stress shows up in all kinds of ways. And in a world that's telling you to do more, sleep less, and grind all the time, here is your reminder to take care of yourself, do less, and maybe try some therapy, for God's sake.
Subtle, Robin. Very, very subtle.
I mean, I'm speaking to the listeners and also you.
Yeah, okay. I gathered that. But you are right. Therapy is very worth it. And BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. So you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And it's a really easy option for someone like me who has very limited time and also very limited money.
I mean, it's great for everyone.
Yeah.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a try and see if online therapy can help lower your stress. I mean, I love BetterHelp. It really makes mental health accessible for all.
Yes, and Ovaries Could Talk listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/OCT.
That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/OCT.
Get that help. Everybody needs help.
You guys are having, you and your ex are having an open conversation about, I'm getting the F out of here.
No.
You just,
Because you
just
said it was
solidified
confirmed.
in
I
your
was like, by
heart,
whom?
right? Like something was confirmed inside
Yes,
your
it was
heart.
confirmed. It was confirmed because he showed me that I was not a priority. He showed me he did not care. It was a constant, when I was in the hospital, my mom had to come get me, bring me home. He was nowhere to be found. He had a girlfriend.
Oh,
The
no.
girlfriend was his god sister. So I was welcoming her.
Don't really start to sound like
Okay, I don't know how much to say. Well,
This is an entanglement. Hey, listen.
I know.
This is amazing.
Well, I have to say that because that's how it was so convenient for him, because I knew her and she was welcoming.
Yeah.
I was welcoming to her because she was family.
Yeah, right.
But they were also a couple. I mean, and it's not a secret because when I left him, he left and went with her.
Oh my God.
So
The
my
ultimate
God, this sounds
betrayal.
really crazy, doesn't it?
You know what? I just want to tell you, when I was in college, this is not anywhere on your level, but when I was in college, I had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
But I was also secretly in love with my best friend in college, Brooke. Shout out to Brooke.
Okay.
And he found my diary. He read my journal where I had drawn like pictures of her.
Okay.
And he used it against me for the entirety of our relationship. And so it's bringing me back to it was one of the worst times in my life because I was constantly convincing him that I was not gay. I was constantly convincing him and myself that I didn't have these tendencies.
Yeah.
And that's a really terrible place to be.
It
right?
is. It
and
is.
then we broke up because he was cheating on me.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But he would not stop throwing in my face the
That's
fact
it.
that I had feelings for a girl.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're stirring up some
That's
memories
it.
for me.
That's
And
it.
it's
That's identical.
a very painful place to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't a god sister though. I'm just gonna say that.
It's funny you should say that. And Robin was saying something earlier about the intersections of the African American community. We recently had a review of our book, and the person that reviewed the book played on the Black woman drama, lesbian Black drama, and hearing you say that, we both knew it was not that, and his review was not accurate at all. But hearing you say that, it's a struggle when you are trying to figure out your sexuality,
right?
And it's going to be drama anyway. And so
Yeah.
because
And-
you're
yeah.
just you're discovering who you are.
Yeah.
And so by him labeling that as Black lesbian drama was way out.
yeah.
That's who
It's also really out of line.
it is.
hurtful.
Yeah.
Time and place.
Yeah.
Time and place. We're talking about the 80s into the
Right,
early 90s
right.
when like white women were having issues. And it's like, and then the African American community felt a little bit behind because, and we talked about this too, you're already dealing with racism
Right.
and you're dealing with all of that as a Black female.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
so that like you're getting to the gay thing later.
Underrepresented, underserved,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
already othered. Just like you walk into a room, you're othered because of the
Yeah.
color of your
Yes.
skin,
Yes. Yes.
and then add this on top of it, and so that is really
and to
hurtful.
boil down your issues to Black lesbian drama is offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's offensive.
Yeah, it is.
You know, we originally we were excited because he is in an area that we could have actually gone somewhere with his review. And he also mentioned some things I thought were positive because he said Lee Daniels and Tyler Perry could really, what did he say? They will salivate at the
No,
mouth
he said foam at the mouth. And
Foam
then
at the
that
mouth
made
to
me
get-
that
to
point
get
I
this,
realized
to
that
make a film with
For the
this.
story.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
took that as a compliment, but when you read
Right.
all the rest of the stuff, he was making a dig at those two as well
Yeah.
as at our
Yeah.
story. So
Yeah, exactly. But wait, so we're talking about the book, but we haven't gotten to the book yet.
Yeah,
We
okay.
got it.
Yeah, well, don't go there. Don't go there because I want to
Yeah.
ask a follow up question about the ex-husband. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you are pregnant with a second. Are you not afraid he's going to try to take the kids?
girl,
If you-
yes, you just
Uh-oh.
don't know. When I left and went to New Orleans,
Oh, you went to
I-
New Orleans.
yes, I moved to New Orleans with her. She came and got me in Arkansas with the U-Haul we hooked on that U-Haul.
Yes,
I'm
she did.
Damn Pontiac. And we left to go to New Orleans, and we were in a 1-bedroom. The four of us was in a 1-bedroom apartment in New Orleans and living off military income.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And I lived in fear the entire time I was there because the god sister that he was in a relationship with comes from money. He comes
Oh.
from money. So everybody had money.
Mhm.
I didn't have money. So money talks, bullshit
Mhm.
walks, right?
Mhm.
So,
Money gets you a lawyer that
well, the
can
god
railroad
sister's
you.
mom is a lawyer.
Oh, geez.
The
Mhm.
girlfriend's mom is a lawyer. Her sister is a lawyer. Now she's a judge.
Oh,
He was a
geez.
doctor. So he had an attorney. He was sending me all these threatening letters, and he was going to take the children
And
from
you're
me.
living in a 1-bedroom apartment.
And I'm living,
and-
so yeah, and
he
left
could-
my job in Helena, Arkansas, and moved to New Orleans with her. And
Oh my
so I
God.
could have easily been deemed as an unfit mom for making
Yeah.
those type, and took his children from him to a whole nother state.
Yeah.
So it was
Oh.
everything was wrong with that.
But that tells you how much you loved each other, that you were willing
Yeah.
to risk everything.
That's right.
Yeah. And I want to know, how did that conversation go when you finally, I want it to be like one conversation like Hollywood, like, yes, I want to be with you. Yes,
You will
me too.
not
I'm coming.
take
I have
my
the U-Haul.
children.
Yeah, you know, it kind of plays.
Baby, sit still. I'm coming. Baby, I'm coming.
It kind of plays out like that a little bit in the book. Because it was one of those things where I realized after talking with one of my very good friends in the military, young lady that we became very good close friends. She kept telling me that you're gonna have to tell this girl how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
I have to live with whatever she says, but because you're not going to be able to move forward either way. And so
That's right.
I decided that I told Marilyn that I wanted her to come with me and that I would do whatever she wanted me to do. If she needed me to stand in the background, if she needed me to not play along, I just told her whatever she needed me to do to make it right for her and the girls, that I would do it. So I just told her we made a pact that we were going to raise these girls with love and give them an opportunity. And if that meant that I had to be a second fiddle or in the shadows or whoever people thought I was okay with that, because the most important thing was having her with me and with the girls. So here I was, 26 years old with a 5-year-old and a 5-month-old.
Yeah.
And
The baby was 5 months old. 5 months old when I left.
Yeah. And so when she said this to you, when you guys had this conversation, what'd you say? How'd she end up with the U-Haul at the house?
She said, yes, God
I
damn
know,
it.
right?
Yes.
You know, it's so weird because when I often think about that time and those days, And I was in such mission-driven mode
Mm.
that I remember being super excited. She tells me now how afraid she was, but I didn't see fear at all in her. And I never do. I just never see fear in her ever, even now. But I didn't see fear at all in her. And so that made me have no fear. So I was excited. I was like, I'm going to actually do this. And when I got the blessings from my mom and my grandmother, I knew I was good, because I know they knew in the back of their, and these are deaconesses and missionary women and all this. I mean, my mom was several years old when she had me. So she's an older lady. She was 45 when she had me. So she's already set in the old ways. So, but they both gave me their blessings. And when I had that, I knew
That's
I
all
was
you
okay.
need.
So I gave my 2-week notice to my job, and I just got in mission mode. I just don't remember I don't remember the romantic part of it. I know we talked about it. I know some tears were shed because it was going to be a big step. But once I knew my mom and grandmother were okay with me leaving them, because I was leaving everything I knew. That was my home. I had grown up there, lived
So
there.
big. What a scary and exciting leap.
Yeah,
right?
It was very scary.
And when you think about it, man, that was really a jump, because you're in the military. So
Yes.
you could not, our lifestyle could not be exposed. I had no job.
Don't
I
ask,
had
don't
2
tell.
girls.
And you have a possibly litigious ex-husband, and you don't know what's
Yes.
happening. That's so much.
Yeah.
Heavy.
And to sum it up, like like our reviewer says, our refusal to come out of the closet. We refuse to come out of the
You
closet.
refused.
That's we
Yeah.
refuse.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
okay.
because of the soup you were living in with the don't ask,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
tell.
yeah.
And the, you
Yeah.
know, oh God.
And I want to get closure on this, because I feel like you said he was sending you, the ex was sending you threatening
Email.
letters.
Yeah.
He's got a litigious family filled with lawyers.
Yeah.
Did he ever actually make good on that and try to get custody? And did he have partial custody, or was he just threatening
No.
just to be a turd?
He was just threatening because he wanted me back. He wanted the relationship back.
Did he want to keep the god sister on the side?
Yeah, he wanted to keep the
they were
girlfriend too.
together. They were together. He moved to where she was in the state where she was living, and they were a couple
He got a
for
lot of
about
nerve.
maybe 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
And my struggle was trying to get child support, and then afraid to go after him for child support
Right.
because I didn't
Yeah.
want him to come at me to block the child support and try to take, so it was all that. So it
Yeah.
was just a lot of that went on for years and years and years and years. But he
Oh,
never made an
God.
attempt to really take the girls. No.
But it's so
I mean, you must have
scary.
just lived in fear
All
though,
the time.
right?
All the time.
Mm.
Nobody in the military, everybody assumed that Marilyn and I were
Sisters. That's what we told everybody, that we were
Yeah.
sisters.
So it's like maybe it was about 3 people that actually knew the actual truth.
Most of the time I made up lies to those kind of people, like I had somebody. I made up a whole person
Oh my
that
God.
existed,
Oh
and where
my
they worked
God.
and what they looked like and what their name was. Oh Lord, this is exhausting. Just talking about it.
I am so exhausted
so
for
much.
you two.
It's so heavy. And
And
it's
then you've got these 2 girls you're
Yes.
protecting, and they
Yeah.
call her
Yeah.
auntie.
Yeah.
To this day, they call her auntie because that's what she
Oh.
was. They have never seen anything other than love in the house. There's no romanticism. They never knew us as a couple. All those years,
Oh.
we hid it from them. We didn't really tell them until they became older and adults in their 20s.
Yeah.
So they really didn't know?
Well, they
didn't
say
know.
they don't. They say they didn't know. Yeah.
They had friends when they were in high school that said things to them like, your mom and your auntie are gay, right? And it's like, no, they're like sisters. What are you talking about? So now that they are adults and they talk to these friends now, they can laugh about it. But
That's so
the
funny.
youngest one she's like,
she makes fun of us.
she makes fun of how in the world did everybody else know
Hide
but
that.
us? We didn't
Right.
know.
But it was one of those things where it started kind of eating at us as
Right.
they got older.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
When did
it's
Because
did you break free?
Because of all the stories and all the lies and
Right. Yeah. it was
keeping
like
up with that.
Yeah. They kind of needed to. But the thing about it is what is so weird about all of this. We talked about the family earlier,
Hmm.
how close we were. No one in our family, immediate family, aunts, uncles, ever said anything to the girls.
But they knew.
But they knew.
Yeah,
So they
they
never,
knew.
but they never took it upon them to say, this, and this. I don't know if they did it out of respect of us raising the girls, or they felt like that we was the ones to tell them. The only one that was telling them was their dad.
their dad.
And he would say that to them.
Yeah.
But
He
they
told-
didn't believe him. They just thought that he was saying stuff because he was being
because he
mean.
was hurt.
Yeah, being
And
hurt.
he was just being mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because mom left him.
Come on, babe.
and
Can you believe what he said?
Yeah, and yeah, he would tell him, and then
And they weren't able to have a whole lot of faith in anything he said
They
because
don't.
he never made an attempt to have the relationship with them that they deserved. I mean, they had no relationship. So
Yeah.
that's the only relationship they had was for him to call and say bad things to them about their mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad. You know what, Robin? My son wore his pajamas all day yesterday.
Attaboy.
Sure did. Yeah, yeah. At least they were his baby Maury pajamas. At least he looked cute and comfy in them. Because baby Maury creates all the essentials a parent needs, crafted from soft, safe, and sustainable materials. So I feel okay with that decision.
That's right. That's right. That's really all that matters, isn't it? And
Yeah.
if they made them in my size, I'd wear them all day.
Right?
Those PJs are my new baby shower go-to.
They're good.
My friends that I bought them for, they love them. They've already bought more for their newborn.
Mhm.
And I was drawn to them because they use a unique blend of organic cotton and bamboo. It's gentle on the little one's sensitive skin, and their clothes are made using ethical methods that have low impact on our planet.
Love that.
We got to take care of our skin and our planet, Jamie.
We sure do. And Baby Maury aims to make parenting simpler through innovative designs. Like, here's what they have. They have two-way zips, extendable sleeping bags, and all their products are designed to be the highest quality. They're long-lasting, and they can be worn, washed, and passed on again and again. They've got clothes for up to 6 years old, so I'm good with Orion for a while, which is great.
Yeah, you are.
Mhm.
Probably 2 years past because he's little.
He's so tiny.
And here's another reason I love them. Baby Maury are giving our listeners an exclusive offer of $25 off when you spend $50. So you can stock up on the softest clothing for your little one, your kid, your baby. All you have to do is visit babymaury.com. That's baby, MORI.com to redeem the code Proud Parent.
Get $25 off when you spend $50 on the softest clothing for babies and kids with your exclusive code Proud Parent.
What was the moment, or what if there was a single moment, or like when were you like, we need to start to, I don't want to say live an honest life because I don't want it to feel
Yeah.
judgmental, but like when were you like, we can't continue on this path the way that we are doing this? And
We
why?
can't hold this load anymore. Like,
I think when we realized that we was emotionally tearing each other apart, that we were asking too much of each other and not being able to express our genuine love for each other in public. It got to the point where it just didn't seem like it was real.
It just wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to life. It wasn't fair to us. It wasn't fair to the relationship, even the friendship we had.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fair to do that. And we were tired. We were just tired. I know
Yeah.
I was. I was
Yeah.
just tired of the lies. I
Exhausted.
mean, at work, I was a whole nother person. And, they saw me as someone single. So people were always trying to connect me with someone. And I'm having to make this lie up and I was just exhausted. It's just like, and then I'm looking at what I'm doing to Naomi when, she wasn't living out all these different lies. I'm going to work and I have this ton of friends. I have all these organizations I'm in and I'm moving about. I've got the girls and I'm hanging with, I'm holding different offices for different organizations. I mean, I'm just all out there, just busy, just living a full lie. And I'm not saying that you were living who you
I was
really
a
were,
little bit more freer than Marilyn, especially after I left the military and I started working for the Postal Service. I kind of didn't deny who I was. I didn't speak about it a lot. I just was who I was. They kind of accepted that she's the gay one, and they just sisters in that.
And she's living with her straight sister.
Yeah. That's basically was it.
it feels like code switching, like in your life about your sexuality.
Yeah.
It's like
About your relationship,
about your
friendship,
relationship.
everything.
It's so hard. It's so heavy to hold on to.
Yeah.
When I could see where one of you is going forward on one path and another is not, that could create some tension.
And it did. It created in me, it created a sense of, I guess, loneliness sometimes. And and then in Marilyn, she's always been such a purpose-driven person. She's always wanted such nice things for her and the girls. And it's unfortunate those things was surrounded in a straight world for straight women with a husband and a family. And so she wanted them to be a part of everything that she had grew up as, being a part of organizations, being a part of the church. She wanted all of that. so she had to keep up this facade just to be able to keep them in those organizations. And I just saw it. I saw it just kind of tearing at her a little bit, that it was just too much to carry. I mean,
Yeah.
And you know what was so weird about all that though? That I did all those things, that we would go to church and I wanted her to come with me. I'm in church and we're sitting in churches together. I was just it's like, we're here. And I would dare anybody to question or have anything to say about it. And that's how it was when we moved about. I was very stoic and now when I look back, I'm thinking people probably just really thought I was, now that I've told the truth to everybody and I've had long conversations about all of this. I don't know what people are thinking, but I look back on those times when I was living a lie and Naomi and I were moving around as sisters, but I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. It's just.
Well, I wonder, because this is where it sounded like you were going, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I wonder if for you, like there was whatever internally, shame or whatever is going on for you, but it was enough for you if she was with you. Like you could carry that load, you could go through it, but as long as she stood next to you, but then at some point, even that couldn't.
Yeah. At some point they got tested. They got I decided that I wanted to explore outside of our relationship. And so I got involved with a person that was a terrible person. And I think that may have the thought of us not being together, Marilyn and I not being together, scared the crap out of both of us. Because I thought that I was going to lose her and she thought she was going to lose me.
Right.
And so we was in this house just driving each other crazy. Literally driving each other crazy. I think that was
the wake up time when that happened. I realized that things needed to change and we needed to treat the relationship for what it was, and that we were in love with each other. We were a couple because she deserved that. And I know I'm not one of those women that's trying to say, oh, it's my fault that she stepped out on our relationship. It's not that. But at the same time, with me knowing who she is and knowing what we had, if I had been 100% of what we needed to have in our relationship, well, you're right.
If I had just been a better person, if I had just been,
oh my God,
just been one.
I love you.
And if I had just been,
so...
if I had just talked to you more about what I was feeling, then we probably would never got in that situation.
Are you getting emotional?
No, I'm not.
Girl, I never see this girl get emotional or cry. Girl, you gonna cry? You gonna cry?
Oh my God, you guys. There's such love between you.
But you guys, like, how could this not be part of your thing? Like your community, while they supported you standoffishly. Right. You were living in a world that didn't support you too, whether it was your job or like your community or your family, like there was no support. So I can't imagine a world where there wasn't a ton of internalized shame,
fear.
Yeah, and fear and all those things. And it's like, if you don't deal with that, it does destroy you.
Yes.
Or it destroys everything around you.
Yes.
And it would have been the two of you, your relationship.
Yes.
So it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's the shame the lack of support.
That's it.
That's what drove it.
Sound like our first counselor.
That's what we learned through therapy. That's exactly what we were told.
Basically that was it. We just
go easy on yourself now.
Yeah.
That was the turning point, and so we worked through that, and then and it was like a new release on life. It was so refreshing to be able to have Marilyn as my woman, as my, this beautiful woman, all these years. It's like I want to run outside and say, I told you she was mine. I told you.
She loves me. She loves me. She loves me. She always loved me.
I just want to run up and down the street and say that. But it just took us to a whole nother level in our relationship.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
It really, it just opened up so much between us, and it opened up the opportunity that we wanted to take our family in a different direction too. We wanted our family to be a reflection of who we are. Everything about it. It was no more pretending, no more lies. No more, none of that. We're family. We're unit, and this is us. This is who we are.
Yeah.
And how many years had you been together at this point?
Oh,
At this point right now,
At the point where you've decided we're gonna
oh,
open it. This is it.
that was in
I
I
think
mean,
we
you've
have been
basically
together.
been together your whole life.
We've
so
been
that's
living. Yeah,
hard.
we've been.
I
I think
know.
we was living
We've
together
been-
like 16 years.
so
wasn't
from what 2009, from 2009, 1990 2009, because 2009
Yeah,
is when
yeah,
that all
yeah.
happened.
This was 2009 when you started talking to people?
when
We started moving differently. Now,
Right.
mind you, I didn't come completely out to people that mattered to me outside of my family
Right.
till the book came out.
Wait.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Like, because that's last year.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. She doesn't officially. Yeah, she doesn't
There's no-
officially-
There's no
officially
judgment in that. Yeah.
contacted
No, none.
all the
No.
people
Yeah.
that mattered. It was like 23 people I contacted, and then 2 of my family members, and told them that a book is being released. Because originally Naomi was doing the book, and then when the editor said we needed to co-author together, I knew that my story was going to be in there a little bit more than what anybody knew.
Right.
So I have all these close friends, and I contacted each one of them and asked them if I could see them at that time, COVID. So we did FaceTime, and I talked to each one of them individually and told them.
Wow.
I mean, I was terrified. I was
can
terrified.
imagine.
But everybody was so receptive and so loving, and they all said just the right things. I'm like, I love both of you,
Oh.
and I'm so glad you're now able to be free. Oh my God. And a lot of them felt so bad. One girlfriend just cried. She called me the next morning and left a voicemail and said, I haven't slept all night. I am just hurting. I'm hurting. And she's really kind of extra anyway. So it didn't move me too much, but at the same time, it bothered me because I didn't want to have that kind of effect on anyone, because she said,
Right.
I'm hurting because you've lived like this all your life. And I just feel so bad that you had to live a lie and live secretly. She said, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's a
Mhm.
terrible way to live. And I was just like, yeah, I know, right? When you think about it like that. So, but all the conversations went great. Everybody they were wonderful.
Well, and I think, the point that Jamie makes about it being no judgment, it really is true. It's like my shock is coming from like, I can't motherfucking believe how long you had to endure this.
It's hard.
And like, thank God you did this book so that it forced you to just
Yes.
come and be free.
Yes.
And I mean, how do you feel now?
Yeah. How does it feel?
Oh man.
Well-
I can't even put in words. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I just can't believe it. It feels so good. Can you imagine living 30 plus years as
No.
another person?
No. Oh,
Even in my
man.
home, I was another person. I was another person in my home because I could not
Right.
show
because
the affection, and the girls, I had to be a certain person in front of. I mean, it was just, and when I look back on things, it's like a big fog.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
just so happy that we've had this time to catch up and
Mm.
take care of each other and take care of the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's been great. It has been just, I can't even put in words. I cannot even put in words.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of how strong the two of you
Yes.
are to be able to hold on to that for so long. The strength it took to do what you did.
And
is-
and that's all because of the girls, really. Because we
Yeah, that's
we were
true.
just so determined that we were not going to let them grow up and not have the life that they deserved because their mom and dad didn't make it. And that meant that if I had to work 3 or 4 jobs, if we had to, tell lies, if we had to do whatever, we wanted to make sure that they would not be judged because of what
Right.
we were doing. And
Mm.
how it feels now, it's just, it's really it's kind of a weird feeling because we are really, really one
Mm.
unit.
Mhm.
And when you hear some of the comments that come from our friends and family now, is they are now accepting it as a relationship and everything that is involved in a relationship.
Whew. Well, before you leave us, we have to. I mean, I'm gonna need a glass of wine
Start
after this.
drinking.
Can you tell us? I need a big glass of wine. What the impetus was for you to be like, I need to write this down. I need to share our story.
I have a feeling it's just everybody you told your story to was like, you need to write a book.
You better write that down.
Yeah.
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 Is that really what happened?
You know, it was. You know, I don't think they know as much. They didn't know as much what was going on internally with
Right.
Marilyn and I. Because I had an elderly cousin told me that she read the book and she went, "Woo!
Woo.
I did
Mm-hmm.
not know that all of this was going on in y'all life.
Oh.
I just saw y'all as going off with those girls and doing whatever y'all was doing, but I didn't know y'all had all this.
And we
other
didn't even put
stuff."
everything in the book. So if they could only know the rest of it.
Yeah.
Sequel.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
what made me write it down was really when my mother. I started writing the book trying to talk about my mother because she got diagnosed with dementia. I was going to try to keep a journal of my mother's activities, and then when I started writing about my mother, I said, "Well, I talk about my childhood because I was raised in Chicago and I only came to Arkansas during the summertime to visit my grandmother." But then when I started writing the book, and when I got to age 20, I realized that I have been with her since I've been 20 years old.
She's your
So-
whole life.
Yeah, so how could I tell a story and not have her involved? And that meant that we had to talk about the real us. We had to talk about
Mm.
the real relationship here, this real story. And so I think Marilyn was hesitant in the
Oh,
beginning.
God,
my!
yes.
I think she was real.
I bet she
Well,
was.
because you hadn't come out yet to
No,
everyone.
No.
I didn't want to pressure Marilyn when it came time to write her part. I mean, she was so slow, so methodical. So, and it was just killing me. But I knew she was going through something emotionally.
Listen. I was offered a journalism scholarship, and I've won a lot of creative writing honors.
I
So
love
I
you.
take my writing seriously, and you
Yeah.
cannot rush a writer,
You
but the
cannot.
part of it was
especially
just
one that's
emotional.
struggling with what they're
Yeah.
writing with,
Yes.
writing about.
Uh-huh.
You had to get it right.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like writing the book, and we want you to tell everybody where they can get the
Okay.
book, but it sounds like it was a very healing process on
Right.
so many different
Yes.
levels,
Very.
from helping you share your honesty to processing it to having it be something that other people who maybe aren't fully living their truth can now read and see what it did for you.
Right. And I can't even put into words sometimes how I feel, how we feel now. Everything I think we get on people's nerves. I think we get on people's nerves talking about us so much, but they don't understand. We have not talked about us
Yeah,
in 36
But
years.
they have to understand we're like newborns. We just started living.
Yeah.
We've just been birthed,
Yeah.
So they just gonna have to put up with
Yeah.
this. But the
Oh
book,
my God.
From Pain to Love, Our Journey Outside the Rainbow.
And you can basically get it anywhere that you buy your books. You can get them at Barnes and Noble, Target, Amazon, wherever you buy a book. You can pick it up.
Everybody needs to get this book for sure.
Everybody needs to get this book. If there's anyone in their life that isn't fully living their truth, they need to get this book and give that book to
That's
them.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the best Black lesbian drama out there. on the market.
This has really been
Ugh,
wonderful. So every once in a
amazing.
while, we have an interview that like really hits in a good way, and this one did. I mean, we love them all.
It stays
We love
with
them all. But
Yeah. But this is going to stay with us.
yeah.
Tell people socially where they can find you
yeah.
on the socials.
Yeah, so on Twitter, I'm Wilma J. Is it Wilma G? Wilma
Wilma
J.
J.
Wilma J. 23. And Marilyn is Black Like Marilyn on
Instagram.
And we're both on Facebook under Naomi Scales and Marilyn Jordan.
And then
there's a book Facebook page.
Right, I was
From
gonna-
From
Pain
Pain
to
to Love. Yes, From Pain to Love. Our Journey Outside the Rainbow has its own Facebook page as well.
Amazing.
Thank you, ladies,
Thank
so
you
much
so
for giving
much.
us the
This-
opportunity.
Oh, no,
It's
this was
been our
this was a
pleasure.
pleasure for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a pleasure for us.
We love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I just fell in love with
Oh.
these two.
I love them. I love them. And everyone, you need to go out and buy their book, From Pain to Love, Our Journey Outside the Rainbow.
Yeah, and what the hell? While you're out there, buy ours too. I mean, come on.
What the hell?
You know,
What the hell? Why not?
I mean,
Why not? Also, rate and review us and do
yeah,
other
yeah,
things.
do them for God's sakes. We were super rambly today, so we're going to wrap things
Yes.
up. Find us over on the social Ovaries Talk on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the TikTok. If These Ovaries Could Talk on YouTube, where you can catch all of our past live streams, which you do know we're on hiatus from. But all the past content is still there. And support the podcast and join our community on patreon.com/Ovaries Talk. Bonus content.
That's where you're going to get that bonus content. Thank you to our sponsors, Modern Fertility, BetterHelp, and Baby Maury. And a huge, huge thank you to all of you Patreons who are helping us make this show. We really
That got weird.
Helen, you have to have Helen say it. Hurt. Oh, well, thank you all so much. We're going to get out of your ears because nobody needs to hear us
No,
anymore.
or Helen.
Nobody.
All right.
Oh, and Helen. Okay, Helen, you can stop.
Should
you
we,
can
should
stop
we
the
let
recording.
should we let
Thanks.
Helen say the eggs ovaries out?
Okay, let's do it.
Eggs. Ovaries. Out. Bitches.
What'd you say, bitches?
If these ovaries could talk, they would say,
Eggs, ovaries out.